This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the Crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Right back like we never left. W show. We're back outside. Talking sports and pop culture on 100.1 FM on Kansas City Radio. If you're watching us live, if this is your first time checking us out, we appreciate you making this a part of your day. Kicking off our barbershop and beauty salon tour here in Raytown, Missouri at Big Days for our studio right here on 63rd Street. So if you're driving around your car, if you're president, come and hang out with us. Dude, you're talking about me. You look like you haven't shaved in 28 days. Man, COVID's gone. You haven't heard? That's why we're outside.
Yeah, and I don't know about all that. You know, they got that new.
Really?
Yeah. LA's back on the mask. Back up. They on the mask mandate.
So are they gonna bring that back to Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean,
y'all need it.
See, you know what? I didn't get shot in the arm for no reason now.
Like, oh yeah, you did because you said you had to before you went home.
I had to do it, man. I ain't really want to. Not that I don't believe that it works. I just didn't want to get shot in the arm. But
you scared of needles,
man? I ain't scared of needles. I just, man, I don't know about this, man.
Noel out here still thinking about the booster that he got when he was 8.
Man.
See if a web come out.
You didn't grow any extra limbs, did you? See, nah, it didn't happen for me, bro. Like I didn't get no special powers, no superpowers, just a shot.
You might be all right then.
It's all good, but yeah, nah. It's as far as you got to get it soon too.
I've got. I'm fully vaccinated.
Okay.
Yeah. Which one did you get?
Was it Pfizer?
I got the Johnson & Johnson.
I got the Johnson & Johnson.
That's the one y'all scared of. The one they done.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had to. It was last minute. Mine was last minute.
I walked in the VA and they go, "Hey, we got the Johnson & Johnson." I was like, "Yeah, I know. Go ahead."
We got a couple guests on the show today. Mike Lang, Airborne. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was on our show when we were on the other station, and a lot of fun. Cool. Yeah, Airborne is what we call him. Also, Quinn Day, he's on the line. We're going to kick this thing out talking Kansas City basketball, but also coming up on today's show, we have we're going to talk Patrick Mahomes. He explained his out of context comment on AFC West rival quarterback Justin Herbert. I'm like, why are you have to be, PC about everything? Hey, Q talks about it all the time. Well, his mom made him do it. His mom made him walk that comment back. Also, WNBA AllStar Candace Parker featured as first woman on the cover of NBA 2K.
Yeah.
And we all know that Ravens QB Lamar Jackson is on the brink of a new contract. Did he take a unwarranted risk playing football on with some high school kids on concrete?
I got a lot to say.
We'll get to talk. We'll get to that. And also coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll have our sneakers of the week and our hater love it segment. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Off today's show, there was a little Facebook back and forth that took place over the last I would say 48 hours, and it's got some people ruffled a little feathers. And a friend of our show, Jerron Rush, he had posted a flyer that had Kansas City basketball legends. The flyer was created by another friend of the show, Marcus Walker. Both of these guys have been in the hoop, since the 90s. Of course, Jerron, and I still say Jerron, greatest basketball player of all time from Kansas City. So it ruffled a little feathers, and it had pictures of, a lot of players from the Kansas City area, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a couple guys that are going to talk about that a little bit. Mike, when you saw it, what was your initial reaction when you saw the Facebook post?
We old seeing all those names in there, man. But a list is a list. Whenever you put out a list, you're gonna have some controversy. I can put out a list, top 5 women. I'm the number one for me is gonna be Holly Berry. Somebody's gonna come out and say something else. But I don't know. I mean, he didn't put out a list numbered. It wasn't 1, 2, 3 or no. He just and a snapshot of people that he felt that are legends, which is subjective because I can give you 10 different names of people that are legends in my mind or whatever. But he said he's gonna come out with a Kansas list.
Okay.
I'm not from Kansas. I don't really like Kansas, but Victor Williams, Nate Johnson, there's some good players over there. So just want to see how this kind of fans out and go from there.
Yeah, and we also have Quentin Pooh Day on the line. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning.
What's
good
happening?
Morning,
It's messed up. You couldn't be in live in the flesh with us, man.
Man, I know I'm at the gym right now, trying to get it in, man. Trying to get my kids right, man. We got a lot of big tournaments going on right now. It's the second part of the live period, man. So we got a lot of action going on right now. A lot of it's real busy in the gym right now. So I got to do what I got to do. Cousin.
Yes. Speaking of being in the gym, man, ruffled a little feathers on Facebook. I know you were one of the names on the or actually your photo was on the flyer. And I just want to get your thoughts about the term legend, and a lot of people on that post are saying that the word legend is being thrown around loosely. What are your thoughts?
Well, I've been saying that for a while. The word legend, the word elite. We got a lot of people, the word GOAT, lately these GOATs and legends and elites, those words have been thrown around way, way too loosely. But I mean, honestly, I've talked to Marcus. Probably 2 or 3 times yesterday. And I just explained to him, you're trying to do something positive. You're trying to do something positive for the community. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to get the younger kids, in this generation to kind of see some of the older past players that that played here in Kansas City. Some of the best players. I won't say necessarily legends. I'll say some of the best players that you probably hear about that we're probably just urban legends too. That we didn't get to see when we were coming up playing basketball. When we hear about all these different names from people from generations before us and the greats before us. And what he was trying to do is just be able to let the kids come out and see. See these guys, see the Jerron Rushes, the Kareems, the Quentin Days, the Marcus Walkers. They see us, but they don't see us on the floor. You know what I mean? They don't see us playing basketball anymore. They see us as coaches now. They see us as trainers now. So what he was just trying to do was, put an event together where all these people, all of us could come together and actually show the younger kids, what I'm saying, what we used to be able to do if we could still do it.
Yeah, and I think that was what was missed in the whole thing. A lot of people they just saw the photos and such and such just left off this list.
Like Mike said, when you see a list of names and your name is not on it, or you see somebody else's name that should be on it, or your picture is not there, or a lot of times basketball players, it's not a person in this world, I don't think, that could walk down the street and say, I can't play basketball. Basketball is a sport that everybody thinks that they're good at. Everybody thinks that they could play it. And like I told him, I said, man, you're going to always forget some people. And you really can't get caught up in, all the comments and stuff like that were made underneath the post. And, it's always going to happen like that. Like Mike said, if he made a list right now with his top group of people, then somebody else is going to always have something to say about it. But I told him, man, to just stay positive and just continue to just keep trying to do positive things for the community, man, because that's what we need. And I told him, no matter what, I'll be there and I'll be able to help. I'll be there to support him. everything like that. But I think we just got too much time on our hands to be worried about not being mentioned on the list, man. I think it's so many great players from this area, from Missouri and Kansas, and everybody deserves their due diligence. But if sometimes you get left off, sometimes that just happens. That's just a part of the game.
So he's trying to get the quote unquote legends of Kansas City to play a game in front of the kids.
Yes, he's trying to get
there's going to be a lot of
group
Ben Gay,
kids to play, and then he's trying to get all of us to come along and play in the game.
And we're talking to Quinn Day on the W Show phone line right now. We're right here broadcasting live at Big J's barber shop here in Raytown, right off 63rd Street. Come and hang out with us. But Quinn, you saw, of course, we talking about the list of legends. Now, Noel, of course, is not from Kansas City. And I asked Noel, I said, well, what was his thoughts about when he saw the list? And he said, there's no Kansas, but it's Kansas City. A guy like him, he's like, well, is Kansas City Kansas? Is Kansas City, Missouri? Is it all one, or is it the same thing? Yeah. So what was your thoughts when there weren't any Kansas folks?
My thoughts on it was, I just feel like if he was going to put that list out there and make that post with that graphic, he should have just been more specific. I think if he was just a little bit more specific, then a lot of this, back and forth stuff wouldn't even be going on right now. And I honestly, I seen the list and I feel like, hey, everybody has their opinion. One of my closest buddies, Mike Watson, he made a post with a bunch of names on it.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
He kind of categorized them as legends, then legendary, then second tier legendary, third tier legend. You see what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, I look at those things and I just look at it like, man, let's just appreciate everybody that's on here. It doesn't. Yeah. I mean, what does it take to be a legend? Honestly, like
there is no criteria.
All those guys on that list have done great things with the game of basketball for our city. And I think that that's the most important thing. It doesn't have to be who's the best, who's the second best, who's the third best. Listen, everybody has done great things that's on that list. And even more. I've thought of some names that wasn't on there that I know for a fact could have been on that list. You know what I mean? So it really doesn't. For me, Steven, none of that matters. Right. I had a great career. I did great things here for the city. I did great things in my career playing basketball. So that's just something that I really don't, try to like get too deep and involved in. You'll never see me comment anything under there if it's not a positive comment for everybody mentioned. And as far as Kansas is concerned, I mean, I know it's a bunch of great players from Kansas, man. I don't want to start naming off names because if I don't name all of them,
exactly, you know how I go.
That'll be another issue. But man, there's plenty of great basketball players from Kansas. And I get it. I get what Earl's comment was. He's like, well, I'm from the dot, and I get it. It's kind of like us here in Kansas City. We don't like to be categorized with St. Louis. It's a St. Louis versus Kansas City type of thing. And I get it. Kansas or Wyandotte County versus, Jackson County or whatever it is, whatever county from Missouri, they don't want to be categorized in the same thing. And I get it. I understand that. So, I mean, like I said, it's just, for me, it's good banter. I know I told Marcus, I said, if we playing in a game, I wouldn't care if you haven't played in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. If I'm going to be playing in a game, I'm coming for blood. So we'll see who's still legends, and we'll see who's legendary then on August 15th. But I told him, I said, y'all make sure y'all got y'all's ice hot on, got ankles taped up and ready to go, because I'm going all in. So
is there a check with this list?
Right. And that's another thing. Real quick before we let you go, man. That's another thing. I felt like if you were able to get your college tuition paid for, half paid for, whatever it is, if you were able to make money off the game of basketball, and provide for your family, I feel like you're a legend.
I think you're legend. I think you're a legend.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Simple as that. You were able to play basketball and impact other players, younger players. Like you said, get a college paid for, even if you had to pay for it. If you were good enough to even make a college team, if you was good enough to like I said, make an impact on the city, and people remember you from years and years and years and years on, then hey, that's legendary to me. So
right.
I mean,
where we were.
You don't have to categorize it to me, man. Hey, I appreciate all the basketball players that did great things for our city.
Facts. All right, man. We're gonna let you go, brother.
All right, man. I'll talk to you guys, man.
All right, later.
All right, thanks.
Yep. All right, that was Quentin Day talking about the Kansas City Legends list that was put out yesterday. Moving on to Patrick Mahomes, he explained his out-of-context comment on AFC West rival Justin Herbert. Patrick Mahomes played in a celebrity golf tournament this past weekend, and a fan yelled at him. Let's hear Patrick's response.
For Justin Herbert next year, I'll see it when I believe it. Yeah.
He should look out for Justin Herbert.
He said it backwards anyway. That's
yeah, I'll see it when I believe it is what he said. So then he walked it back. He said he took to Twitter and said, "Yeah, I think it got taken out of context." Mahomes said he told USA Today Sports. He said, "I was just talking some trash to all those Raiders and Broncos and Chargers fans out there. I have a ton of respect for him as a player," meaning Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, we know what he was trying to say. We get all of that. You don't have to walk back nothing.
Yeah,
we want some good old trash talk.
Exactly.
That's what we want to hear, especially out of you. I mean, we already know that he's a pretty humble guy, and he kind of says the right things. He's PC, like you said.
Yeah.
But
you shouldn't have to be, man. You won a Super Bowl. You won a Super Bowl MVP.
He's got all
regularly. You don't have to be like politically correct
in the league.
Yeah, you don't have to be.
He doesn't. But I mean, I think that's just kind of who he is. That's kind of how he was raised.
Yeah.
I think he's got his parents in his ear. He probably got his agent probably in his ear telling him to see certain things. You just you gotta put a statement out. You got to do this. But guy like me, I just want to see him, stand out and say, hey, like I said what I said. Y'all come get us. Yeah, right. I mean, we won the AFC West. What is that? 3 years in a row?
You said we, so you're a Chiefs fan now?
No, that's not what I said.
I got it.
You thought you had me. Never.
Like 10 years.
It's been a long time. Long time.
I'm the nation
AFC
till I
West.
die.
Yeah.
Let y'all know
that. All right. Yeah, he'll figure it out soon. It's like, man, if you have that killer instinct about yourself, you got to continue to be that.
He does have it, though. I will say that much. He probably don't talk about it, but he certainly has it in that arm of his. So,
all right. Former Seahawks 49ers cornerback Richard Sherman arrested on suspicion of burglary and domestic violence. So, free agent cornerback Richard Sherman was arrested early Wednesday morning in King County, Washington, on suspicion of burglary, domestic violence, according to public records. The case is being investigated as a felony. You know what? I hated the fact that this type of thing gets publicized so much. And then TMZ releases the video footage and all that kind of stuff, and it kind of just what it does is, no matter how much positiveness that he's done, throughout his football career, whether it's college, whatever, his whole life, his body of work, this will overshadow that.
And it wasn't even like. The video was bad, but I mean, we've all had those moments. If we're really being honest with ourselves as humans, we've had those moments where we may have lost, a little bit of control, and we got angry about something, whatever it was. And I think he just had one of those moments. He put out a statement apologizing yesterday, and that's the kind of guy that I think he is. He's one of those people. He's a stand-up guy. He realizes when he maybe made a mistake,
right? And
he owned straight up to it. It's not like he put out a bunch of things where it's like, oh, well, I was going through this and this happened, and then this is what he didn't even, get into what built up to it. He just said, hey, listen, like I went through this. I apologize for everybody that saw. I apologize to my wife, to, was his father-in-law that was in there.
Father-in-law,
yeah. So it's just like, I mean, that's just, hopefully is one of those things where, the rest of the world just kind of, it happened. Let's move on from it. Is he out on bond?
He's out. They released him. He didn't even bond it.
Released him.
They just released him.
The judge is kind of going back on the charges or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
The charges will go back. The video looked worse than what it was.
Right.
The charges were definitely a lot worse than what the situation was, and it's a situation full of drama. A lot of people tried to chime in and say it looked terrifying.
Exactly.
It wasn't that. And my question is, what is the NFL doing? Like, what is the NFL doing to get their family some help. He said he's been facing challenges. So no matter how much money they make, they still make money for the NFL as an organization.
Right.
Roger Goodell should definitely step in and figure out how to help him.
If anything, just talk to him.
Yeah, and it's a little more than talking that he needs. Because when if we dive deeper into it, we're talking about CTE. We're talking about brain injury.
Right.
We're talking about a league that is freshly coming off of the race norming scandal that they tried to bury on the heels of Colin Kaepernick, on the heels of CTE discovery. So we're talking about a lot of unanswered issues from the NFL, and we're seeing the effects in things like Richard Sherman. And I mean, do we need to bring up Junior Seau?
Yeah,
do we need to bring up a lot of different guys that have harmed themselves and others from this condition? And so it's up to the NFL, and not even up to Richard Sherman. It's up to the NFL to take responsibility and figure out a solution.
Right.
Well, not even with just the CTE. I'm just thinking about this from a human perspective. He's a highly competitive guy, right? Super Bowls. He is now transitioning to the second part of his life. That's tough. There needs to be a transition. You know, you go from being, one of the greatest cornerbacks in the league to now you're just Richard Sherman. And then now trying to figure out who that is. You've been playing football since you was a little kid. That's all you know. That's all you've been doing. Now all of a sudden it's done with. That's a hard transition to try to figure out. And then what is he, 36? You're still trying to figure out who you are as a man. You're still trying to figure out who you are as a person, and what you was identified for so many years is now gone. You have the money for it, to compensate that or whatever, but now you just Richard Sherman.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I hope he's able to overcome this, man. And thoughts and prayers to Richard Sherman and his family. All right. Caperton Humphrey said that Kansas football paid him $50,000 to leave after threats from teammates. So the University of Kansas Athletics Department paid former fullback Caperton Humphrey nearly $50,000 in benefits to sign a non-disparagement agreement, which is an NDA, and to leave the program in 2019 after reporting 4 unnamed defensive players for allegedly threatening violence against him and his family, as well as selling marijuana, according to Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star. So Humphrey's family is looking to pursue legal action against the former Kansas head football coach Les Miles and former athletic director Jeff Long in compliance, in David Reed and KU Athletics.
Ugly. This is
ugly.
So,
did he sign the NDA?
Yes, he did.
He did.
I think he did. He signed it.
He signed it because
so he signed it, and then
now he's going against it.
Because his family said they really didn't want to go. They really didn't want to do it in the first place, but they, whatever they offered him, he took, and then they had a lawyer, I guess, present to sign it for him. That was what was kind of weird too.
Yeah.
So
so the 50,000 is gone, and now he wants.
Yeah.
It
sounded like it sounded like to me like he took all those benefits because they paid for him to. They not only paid him to leave, they paid him to move all of his stuff. They paid for his trip back home, and they paid for his tuition to finish out. So now all of that's done. And so now he's saying, "Oh,
hitting the real world now." So somebody got in his ear and said, "You should have got more."
I mean, you should have got
more.
Way more.
If somebody comes up to me with an NDA, I'm gonna need more money.
They gave you sign an NDA for a reason.
I need 7 to 8 figures.
And it's so ugly though. Like what the whole situation itself. That's what's so crazy to me. Like they threatened violence against him and his family. They all of that stuff. And I mean, it's just ugly. Les Miles at Kansas, his tenure is going to be looked at as one of the worst in
you think so?
Big Five history of all of those conferences. Like, no contest.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we're going to continue to talk about our top headlines of this week, starting with WNBA AllStar Candace Parker being featured as the first woman on the cover of NBA 2K. We'll be right back. This is a W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Dre, when he was younger, he loved to smile. And we knew he would need braces because his teeth were coming in funny. That's when he had the bunny rabbits. We called him the bunny rabbit.
Now, those are the same two front teeth there that they are now.
Then Dre ended up having to wear braces for 5 years because he never made it to appointments because he was busy playing basketball. If he missed practice, he don't get to play in the game.
This is the picture that was on the front page of the newspaper. All you can notice is the braces.
Then once he got to Michigan State, he broke the retainer.
My bottom teeth, they were really crooked, and I just wasn't getting braces again. Small direct club fits into my lifestyle so well. The liner is so great. It's easy to just grab it and go, and then I can change on the road. I did photo shoots with my liners in, and you can't see them.
I wish Small Direct Club would have been around when I was paying for them. I wouldn't have had to take them out of school. I wouldn't have had to miss work.
It's like a great feeling to have good teeth. A smile.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember, back in on the W show, here live at Big J's Barber Studio right here in Raytown. Remember to interact with our show, use hashtag talk about it, messages, and we would talk about any topic you want. Candace Parker. She's featured as the first woman on the cover of the NBA 2K.
Yeah.
So 6-time All-Star Candace Parker has already left her mark on WNBA history and now is being featured on NBA 2K. You a 2K guy?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was just playing 21 down in Dallas, man. That was my first time actually playing it, and it's good gameplay. Actually, I'm actually proud of 2K because it's been trash the last couple of years. But I think this is important because we've seen a movement of now, like the WNBA and college women's sports. They're now getting a share in the spotlight, and I just think it's very important because they want to grow the game. They want the WNBA to be on par with the NBA, and I think this is just another step towards that. There's a million other things they can do, of course, but this is good. This is good. She's one of the greatest players of all time in WNBA history. Women's basketball, period. So this is another step, and I'm really glad they use a black woman. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
When they report on the WNBA, they seem to forget that the best players in the WNBA are black women sometimes. But this is good. This is good that they're recognizing Candace. So I'm happy about that.
I want a quick shout out to everyone who's joining and listening, and also watching us on our Facebook Live feed. They're having a discussion. Adam Garcia, friend of the show, he said he would have gave him a lifetime of Gates Barbecue to be quiet. Come on, man. Also, Terry Nooner is on our live feed, man. What's up, Noon? Appreciate you watching, man. We talked about the list, where we're going to talk about that more in depth on another day. So you're going to have to come on, man, and talk KU basketball. Come on and talk about that too.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Another woman getting a deal is Sha'Carri Richardson. She's been offered $250,000 to be a spokesperson role at a vaping company.
Makes sense. That's the way it's supposed to be. Twitter was already on this. There was like she needs a bag right now.
Yeah,
in that direction, and sure enough,
and even just moving forward past the Olympics, I think she's going to get a lot more deals.
I think so.
Her talent is going to speak for itself, and it's really tough to hold people back. I mean, I would hate to compare her to Kanye, but I mean, you look at Kanye. How many times has he been canceled for things that he said?
Right.
And sometimes the talent just speaks for itself, and she'll be all right. And this deal is probably going to be one of many.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they pacifying the situation. I mean,
no.
Weed is now more acceptable in today's time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she still had an obligation and responsibility to represent us in the U.S. Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
She knew the rules. She knew what she was supposed to do.
She accepted it too.
Yeah, of course, accepted it because now she knows that there is monetary value. I don't think people do things without knowing the consequences. You don't run every day. This is every 4 years. You don't work out like you work like an Olympic track runner just to blow it on some weed. I knew somebody had to tell her, like, listen, even if you get called.
No, I don't. A lot of times you get NFL guys that hang around their their people and sit up and smoke weed all day, every day. And then they know exactly when they're going to get drug tested. Exactly. And you don't see any of these guys that are like, all right, well, here's the deal. You shouldn't be doing this.
That was then. I'm talking about today.
Today,
in the climate that we're in today, with black women, with black people in general, and with how liberal marijuana is.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think that the people that are around her, because she was great before and she someone had a brand behind her and she's going through the Olympics, that somebody didn't tell her like this can work out for us in our favor. Mm-hmm. So it is right now.
So what you're saying is her friends just said, man, I think you should take a couple of these puffs, and so you can test dirty, and then you're gonna get some money behind it. I don't think they thought that far in the future.
I'm not. So you're saying that working every day, running every day to get to the Olympics, and then smoking that weed, some type of common sense came in?
No, this isn't something that just happened. She's been smoking weed through college. She
probably never stopped.
Yeah, this isn't something she just got caught.
Yeah, this is.
So how do you?
And so again, her messing up an opportunity, yes, but that's not her only opportunity. That's not the only thing. You could say the same thing for music artists when it comes to Grammys. You can say the same thing when it comes to actors as far as the Academy Awards. But if that's not your final destination, it shouldn't worry you too much. And then she's also created a conversation, because now the onus is now on the Olympic Committee. Why do you have these old rules? Why do you have these things? It's not necessarily of what she's done in her social environment in America. That is acceptable, and it should have been acceptable for the past 100 years. But they've created these rules for a certain level of control. And when you look at an organization like the NFL, like the IOC, like the NBA, when you have these rules and these different things that are outdated, you have to answer for why you have these rules. And they don't have an answer at all. All they have is rules are rules. Right. And it's like, no, if she has to explain herself, then you all have to explain yourself as well. And it's not fair treatment to have these athletes that make you all of this money, that sacrifice their bodies, and then when they lose a family member and have to use antidepressants and different things to cope so that they can be ready to make you money on this track or on this field, then yes, you should answer to a lot more than just rules or rules, because you are making the money from this, from off of other people. If they were running on the track and dealing with different losses and different stresses and all that, they will want that as well. They will want that grace, but they don't extend that grace. And we know exactly why.
That's why I think it was planned a little bit, because this conversation could have came up with Michael Phelps. Now, obviously, he didn't take that form and do it.
Michael Phelps is also 27 years old. She's 21. Right. Like, it's a difference. You know more things that you did at 27 than you did at 21.
You do, but I listen, I'm not saying that this was a cool plan, to plan against the Olympics, saying that, hey, if you smoke weed and get caught, this is where we can do it or so. I think that once the test came back in, they looked at it like not half empty, but half full. Like, this is what we can do with this. This is where we can go from this and make monetary value off of it.
Yeah, of course, but they didn't plan that.
We don't know. I'm just saying, though, when Michael Phelps got tested and he was positive before the Olympics or so, and even Usain Bolt admitted that he smoked weed or whatever. This conversation, these questions could have brought up by the media and everybody else in the situation, saying that what can we do about these rules? Now I'm saying with a different time and how America is now being perceived, Black Americans, Black women's marijuana or so, I just think that there was some type of strategy, maybe.
But hold on. I don't think that a 21-year-old from where's she, Louisiana?
She's from the Cliff.
From Dallas. From Dallas. Okay, so a 21-year-old from Dallas basically is going to be thinking that far ahead, that far down the road. I don't feel like I understand, but I don't feel like she had the people around her that is because she runs for Nike, right? I don't feel like they would put the people around her that's going to say, all right, we're going to make you. I got you. But hold up. I don't feel like they're going to put those people around her that's going to say, all right, Sha'Carri, this is what you're going to be the token, and this is what you want. It's been going on for too long. There's so many other people that they could have done that with. Why choose just her? And she was
time.
And they could have done that with Usain Bolt. They could have done that with it's plenty of other people.
He's not American.
Allison Felix. Like it's plenty of other people that Maurice Green.
I think
there's plenty of other people they could have done that with.
The point of all this is that every athlete, let's be real, they all smoke weed. If you want to smoke weed,
right?
Like they can pick and choose who they want to make the guinea pig or whatever. And we can't speak to that because we don't know. But what we do know is everybody pretty much smokes weed. Like all athletes do it. Like if you want to do it, you can. It's kind of a wink, wink, like elbow nudge kind of thing.
Yeah, you know when you're gonna test it.
And it's like, why did they decide to go at her and take this away from her when in reality, if they wanted to really, really test all of those athletes and be like really vigilant about it, they all smoke weed and they would have tested positive somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Well, being an athlete and smoking weed, how do you not know how to test clean?
That is the whole other conversation.
That's the whole other conversation.
And she and that sucks because who was around her to tell her, "Hey, man, we gonna do this." And why are you not?
There was nobody around her. I think we're forgetting that she's coming from college.
You do different things.
Like you said, Richard Sherman is still learning about himself at 35 years old, and at 21 or 22, she's still learning a lot. She's definitely not meticulous in her career to orchestrate things like that. We could even look at how she responded on Twitter after a couple of days. So none of that. So again, it's on the IOC,
and I'm gonna tell you,
it's on these major corporations that make all of this money. Like you should be able to explain why you have these rules. You should have science back behind it, and they don't. That's why they just leave it at rules as rules, and we need to question them more than the athletes and the young people.
And I'm gonna tell you who has been very meticulous is Naomi Osaka, as she's gotten her own Barbie doll and it's already sold out. So Mattel recently released a Naomi Osaka Barbie doll honoring the 4-time Grand Slam tennis champion as part of the brand's Barbie's role model doll line that showcases inspiring women from around the world.
Love it. Love it. And again, we talked about it, her pulling out what was it, the US Open or Wimbledon or whatever she pulled out of for her mental health. Now look at this. She turns around. Surely this was already in the works. But if you have a deal like this coming up and you have a competition coming up, this is probably paying more with a lot less work. And she's making this money for her and her team alone. Right. For Wimbledon, she would have been making them money. So I'm going to pull out of this because I can't deal with this stress because I have other things on my plate. And a lot of people were upset with her because she's not able to be controlled. So again, we talk about this control. And when you can't control these athletes, people get upset. But it turns out, again, talent speaks for itself.
Very much so. Very much so. Kudos to her. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we're going to get to our Hater Love It segment, and we're going to have Big J join us on the show. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Dre, when he was younger, he loved to smile. And we knew he would need braces because his teeth were coming in funny. That's when he had the bunny rabbits. We called them the bunny rabbit.
Now, those are the same 2 front teeth there that they are now.
Then Dre ended up having to wear braces for 5 years because he never made it to appointments because he was busy playing basketball. If he missed practice, he don't get to play in the game.
This is the picture that was on the front page of the newspaper. All you can notice is the braces.
Then once he got to Michigan State, he broke the retainer.
My bottom teeth, they were really crooked, and I just wasn't getting braces again. Small direct club fits into my lifestyle so well. The liner is so great. It's easy to just grab it and go, and then I can change on the road. I did photo shoots with my liners in, and you can't see them.
I wish Small Direct Club would have been around when I was paying for them. I wouldn't have had to take them out of school. I wouldn't have had to miss work.
It's like a great feeling to have good teeth. A smile is a first impression.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Right here, back inside the W Show with Walls and the Crew. We're broadcasting live from Big J's Barber Studio right here in Raytown, right off of Blue Ridge, 63rd Street. If you're familiar, listening to us in your car, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, or you're watching us on one of our social media pages, we appreciate it. Remember, you can, if you would like to want us to talk about a certain topic, hashtag talk about it, and we will definitely talk about it. That was one of Big J actually gave us that topic earlier that we talked about with the Kansas City Legends basketball list.
Yeah.
Man, we appreciate that. We also appreciate you for having us out here, man. Talk about your barbershop here in Raytown.
Well, first of all, I appreciate y'all coming out. And,
definitely.
You know, I love supporting what my brothers is doing around the city. So I was all in when somebody told me about it. So what we do here is it's just me and my guy, DeAndre Young. We've been here about 6 years, and we just provide a good quality grooming service for we do all styles of hair, all types of hair. And what we try to do is provide an experience for you here at Big J's. We give you the hot towel service. We give you, the razor, everything, in a nice vibe. We're trying to create a whole vibe for you guys to come out to be comfortable. And anybody coming here, they'll be comfortable, white, black, everybody. So that's what we've been doing here for 6 years.
Now you talk about the vibe. Now, of course, the thing with barbershops, and everybody knows it, is the conversation.
Absolutely.
Conversations can range from sports to pop culture to whatever. Yeah. But just talk about, you mentioned your vibe, but talk about the vibe that's in here. What are some of the topics that you guys normally discuss as far as from the sports aspect?
Man, we talking about anything. We were talking about the list yesterday with one of my clients is Brandon, and we was talking about the list yesterday with him and Andre Gibson, and we were just going back and forth and doing the debate like everybody was doing online.
Exactly.
Doing the same thing here. And then this morning, I had one of my guys here, Marcus Davis. We were talking about owning real estate, owning real estate, and stop renting, buy you a house.
Right.
You see what I mean? So we just talk about anything from that. We range from anywhere. So it's just like we want people to prosper and grow.
Right.
And our people to prosper and grow. So it's like stop renting and buy you something. Get your credit together. Buy you something. That way you can prosper in life. And that's what we want our people to do.
Yeah, you talk about this vibe in here. When I walked in, of course, I noticed the art.
Yes.
Speak about, and as an artist yourself, just speak about how important it is to showcase this art. I mean, not only the art that you're doing with the Clippers, but just the arts in general.
Absolutely. Well, being a barber is a creative person. So when I got approached by artists a few years ago, it's a Black Space Black Art company. She was showcasing Black artists, and I was like, yes, please. Yeah, let's go. My walls are bare. I want to put them in there. So moving forward, a few years later, I had a friend. Her name is Aisha Wilkes. She was painting. She said, "Can I put some of your art in my shop?" I'm like, absolutely, you can. And then I ended up putting Lindell Diggs in here. So we got some of his and some of hers in here. Now they're all for sale.
Definitely.
But I love them because it brings out a different vibe and energy in my shop. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, they're all beautiful pieces in their own way. So
yeah, definitely. A lot of culturally, a lot of African culture sprinkled in here. So definitely.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned art. You have an event coming up yourself called Smoke and Paint.
Yeah.
Talk about that event, man, and what people need to know about it.
Okay, so first, it's Smoke and Paint is smoking cigars. It's not weed.
Right.
That will not be allowed. But there is a whole culture in Kansas City that cigar smoking that has not been tapped into, and we're me.
I'm with you, man. Of course.
So me and my homeboy was vibing on just watching the game, vibing. We just like, man, we need to bring this to Kansas City. So we formed Smoke Kings with my homeboy Lamont and my brother-in-law Reggie, homeboy Dave, and my cousin Fred. Because we all smoke cigars, we always come together and we smoke cigars and watch fights and games and stuff like that. It's like, why there's nothing here like when we go out of town.
Right.
There's nothing like that here. So we decided to come and start putting things together. So we started this Smoke Kings Entertainment. That's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have this event coming up on August 13th. It's a smoking pink event, and it's going to be a vibe where you come out with your lady or your homeboys, and you can smoke cigars, paint a little something, have you something nice to eat. It's an all-inclusive event, so you just have to come dressed. You don't have to bring anything.
Right.
So, and it's going to be outside at Loose Park. You can go to our Facebook page and you can check, and check out the link so you can get more information on there.
That's gonna be cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm going for sure because cigar is my thing, and I don't know how to paint, but I can, I can do
artists.
Oh, really?
There's going to be an artist there.
Okay.
And they're going to help you, guide you through your whole painting experience.
Huh.
Yes.
Interesting. So I don't even know how to paint. Need to know how to paint. I can just come out there and they're gonna show me how to do it.
You there for the cigars, bro?
Yeah, you be really.
Yeah, somebody's gonna be there for the cigars. Some people there for the paint, and it's mostly for the whole vibe of the cigar culture that we're trying to bring to Kansas City for our people.
Right.
See what I mean?
I got you.
So for our people.
So if somebody wants to reach out to you, how would they be able to find you and then find out information about your shop?
They could go to on Instagram at Big J's Barber Studio.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to I have a Facebook page for my barbershop, Big J's Barbershop on Facebook. You can reach me on Jelon Whitaker on Facebook as well. So, and then also we have the information for the event on my Facebook page as well.
Cool. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Dre, when he was younger, he loved to smile. And we knew he would need braces because his teeth were coming in funny. That's when he had the bunny rabbits. We called them the bunny rabbit.
Now, those are the same two front teeth there that they are now.
Then Dre ended up having to wear braces for 5 years because he never made it to appointments because he was busy playing basketball. If he missed practice, he don't get to play in the game.
This is the picture that was on the front page of the newspaper. All you can notice is the braces.
Then once he got to Michigan State, he broke the retainer.
My bottom teeth, they were really crooked, and I just wasn't getting braces again. Small direct club fits into my lifestyle so well. The liner is so great. It's easy to just grab it and go, and then I can change on the road. I did photo shoots with my liners in, and you can't see them.
I wish Small Direct Club would have been around when I was paying for them. I wouldn't have had to take them out of school. I wouldn't have had to miss work.
It's like a great feeling to have good teeth. A smile is a first impression. That's why I think having
glasses.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Welcome back in on the W Show with the W Show. We're broadcasting live right here in Raytown, Big J's barber studio right here off of Blue Ridge and 63rd Street. Come out and hang out with us. We're here. We're out here. We're missing Jazz. Jazz is down in Florida.
Yeah, getting all the sun.
Yeah, abandoning us.
Yeah, she sent me a picture yesterday talking about I'm headed to Universal Studios. I said, what? I thought you were in Miami. She said, well, I'm in Orlando for the day. I said, what? Come on, Jazz.
Must be nice, Jazz. Must be nice.
You think Jazz is up right now?
Man,
probably.
Nah,
it's new. It's new. It's something
brunch.
for one.
Maybe brunch. Maybe go
Nah,
get brunch. She ain't a brunch person. Y'all
Nah,
think?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, well, Jazz, if you're watching this,
Don't get COVID.
Dang, Mike. See, that's a Mike. No, he just say whatever. Just like whatever. Don't care.
I mean,
Positive thing though, man. You don't want her to come back sick.
Come on, man. Look. All right, let's get to today's hater to love it.
Hate it.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
All right, the U.S. men's Olympic basketball team has been a mess so far this season. Hater to love it.
I love it. You know why?
Why?
Because It ain't no easy gold medal no more, Team USA. You better go actually build you a team. Like, stop trying to get 12 superstars and call it a basketball team if you want to win. Like, the rest of the world is saying, nah, we got teams with roles. We got our NBA players, and then we got our guys that do the dirty work. They have roles, and I love it. So they're still gonna win gold. But
you think so?
Yeah,
I watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
You're the only person that watched it.
No, I'm not the only person.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I watched it. That's a microcosm of what goes on in today's world. Yeah, they stink. Did you watch the game? You see what happened? Oh no, I couldn't even catch the game, bro. I couldn't. All right, well, I ain't trying what you're saying.
Yeah, nah, man. But I'll tell you one thing I haven't watched yet that I plan on it is Space Jam. And Space Jam New Legacy. And since we're talking about Space Jam, the sneakers of the week, they're
the Space Jam sneakers.
saturated by Space Jam. So first up, you have the Lola Bunnies, Sylvester and Tweety, the Wiley Roadrunner, LeBron 18s. You guys feeling those?
LeBron getting the bag, man. He got like all the characters with their certain shoes. Like, yes. Come on, dog.
And that's not even, there's like 6 of them, but that we only have room for 3. So
they all LeBron shoes?
They're all LeBron 18s.
18s. Bron's, let's be honest, Bron's really only good for on the court if you're a big dude and you want to move. You need something a little light, you know what I'm saying? But as far as just the look,
yeah,
it ain't really me. It ain't really me.
And these Sylvester and Tweeties are all right, but
yeah,
they're gonna be worth something though.
That's some Air Force
No, they
Ones.
won't.
That's Looney Tunes Air Force Ones.
Crazy.
Yeah, I saw the Air Force Ones. They have also Converse. You see bottom left, they have the Space Jam New Legacy Converse Run Star Motion. Those are the ones that Q liked last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like those. I don't know what it is about these little Converse boot shoes.
Yeah,
I don't even know what to call them.
Boot shoes.
Like
yeah. I had to take mine out real quick. But then you have the up top left, you have the Air Jordan 1 Retro OG Electric Oranges.
Yeah.
They're decent.
I mean, they Jordan 1s. They're my favorite sneaker of all time, but it's just like we didn't saturate the market with them.
Oversaturated.
Every Saturday, it's a new one coming out. OG high. What? I mean,
yeah.
It
is what it is. Just give me the OGs.
Yeah. Listen to Bobby Valentino. Slow down, Nike.
Yeah, for real. For real.
All right, the LA Clippers, Kawhi Leonard has had surgery to repair his partial tear of his right ACL. Hate it or love it.
I mean, I love it that he's healthy, but
yeah, he's getting healthy. He won't. He won't come back till February.
Yeah,
easily February, March.
Yeah,
this is the second time that it's happened where he got. What happened was the team gave him the first opinion. He went and got they said, oh, it's a knee sprain. Then he went and got a second opinion, partial tear. The second time this has happened to the same guy.
And when we saw what happened with him in Toronto, that was the reason that he left Toronto, was because he said he didn't trust the organization anymore.
Sounds like the VA.
So
it's
like all these family organizations not running like a family.
Right.
What is the deal? How does that even happen?
Yeah, I'll tell you something else. Isaac Bruce says that he and Torrey Holt are the NFL's best wide receiver duo of all time, ahead of Randy Moss and Chris Carter. Hated to love it.
So Jerry Rice. What about Jerry Rice and John Taylor? Yeah, I was getting ready to say
they would have something to say.
I mean, it's some other ones out there. You know what I'm saying?
He said it may seem like a whole lot of arrogance to other people, but numbers don't lie. Everything we put on the football field, the film, it is what it is. You can go back and turn it on. He said it's because we won a Super Bowl.
Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison.
That's
the one for me. That's number one because Marvin Harrison better than both of them.
What was that Pittsburgh Steelers with Swan?
Lynn Swan. Oh, you went back.
Yeah.
Lynn Swan
to the 70s.
Yeah, it was another guy on his other side.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll definitely see because there's some wide receiver duos that are coming up that are pretty good as well.
Another list. Stay relevant.
Another list.
All right, Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants announced he will receive endorsement money in Bitcoin. Hate it or love it.
Go get it.
Yeah,
go get it.
Yeah, about 10 years too late, but
better late than never.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, another better late than never. Travis Kelce or Kels. Hate it or love it.
Why you tell us, man? Like we care.
I don't even know if I believe him. Like what? You gonna let people say your name wrong for your whole entirety of your football career?
Some people get tired. I mean, you could talk to a lot of black women that's just like, just after a while, I stopped correcting people.
Really?
You know,
even his brother goes for his brother though. Like
goes for Kelsey,
and even then, you know, when we're speaking in code, you know, that's how you know who knows you. You know, some people call you by a certain nickname.
That's true.
You know, if
That's
somebody
true.
says your name right,
that's true.
Then you know, so
facts.
Because I get no
folks say if you know me by Steven, then you know me. If you know me when I was called Steven, then you know.
Michael Brandon. I know what life I was in when I met you.
Or Podgy.
Oh, dang, the nick. That's how you really know somebody. That sounds like a nickname like Moms or like Dad Pops or somebody gave.
Yeah. But yeah, and the thing about it too is the fact that he said that I believe it's from his dad's side, and his dad, after, you know, on his mom's side, that people just started calling him Kelsey. And it just since he was a kid, but on his dad's side, they're Kels.
You know what he said? Why there's a huge difference between how he acts and how he dresses from his brother.
What?
He played basketball. His brother played hockey.
Yeah, they definitely grew up with two different friend groups.
Yeah. All right, LeBron. It says he's extremely nervous about living up to Jordan in Space Jam sequel. Hate it or love it.
I mean, would you not? I mean, people have been putting him next to Jordan since he was
15.
A very long time, and we can say that he's filled that role
basketball wise
sufficiently
sure.
from a culture stance, from a basketball stance.
Wait a minute, I wouldn't say from a basketball stance.
He definitely has. Let's stop that. Let's stop that.
I would
Let's stop
say
that.
that.
Let's stop that.
We knew Steve was going to insert some hate. We knew Steve was going to insert some hate.
We're going to stop that, man.
But there aren't many people that can live up to somebody that they've been compared to for that long.
Yeah, most definitely.
Gesundheit.
Yes and no. When you say it from a cultural standpoint, outside of basketball, I would say no for Kobe. I would say no, Kobe
in his early years, but later on,
no, I think he was getting there before his death.
When he started the mentality, he definitely culturally he put his stamp on.
Hooper wise,
let the non-Kobe fans talk. And yes, Kobe, he did well on the basketball court. Outside of basketball, no. So again, for somebody to outside of basketball, in movies, in media, everything, LeBron has lived up to the expectations and people that have put him beside Jordan. And you can argue that all you want, but the evidence is still there.
But Space Jam 1 and Space Jam 2, we can end this conversation right
here. Who knows? When has the sequel ever been better than the original?
Here you go.
Let's be real here. We talking about a movie we saw as kids where the guy, Jordan, at the height of his popularity, had the iconic shoes.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that Space Jam 2 could be a great movie with a great storyline with everything better than Space Jam 1, and we would never say it's better. We'll never say that.
We saw this in the 90s. I mean, we all weren't kids. Noah was a kid at the time.
I was a kid. I was 5 years old
in diapers.
And then this Space Jam is not even made for us. So
I'm still gonna watch it.
I'm
gonna watch that thing.
All right, so Allison Felix, an athlete, create $200,000 child care fund for 10 athletes who are mothers.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Been doing well.
So again, when we talk about family, the Olympic Committee should step up. They are making the money. They have the endorsements. They have all of the dollars that they're bringing in. They should be doing this, but it takes a Black woman to step up. So
Moms
for sure,
are always getting the bag. They get the STEMI. They get this. Where's the
oh man.
All we
you didn't get the STEMI?
I didn't get
oh man, hey,
all we get.
You upset? Who hurt you?
Hey man, that's crazy. They didn't get my man
to the Olympic Committee.
Listen, you know what Chris Rock said? Like dogs and children are loved and
dogs, children, and women are loved unconditionally.
They don't love me.
That's another conversation. that has very little truth. But we love the joke.
Yeah, that's another podcast. There's a whole other podcast we can go get.
Man, we appreciate everybody joining in on today's show. Another great show, y'all. Remember, you can catch a rewind of our show on Mondays on 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, anytime on social media. Also, we appreciate Big J having us out here.
Definitely.
Remember, right here on Blue Ridge and 63rd Street. Come out here, check them out. Until next week, we are out of here.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live. The views and opinions expressed of the W radio show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.